When we deal with cancers, when we deal with kidney issues or liver issues and things like that filter stuff for our body, and we hear this word forever chemical, and that PFAS is a forever chemical, and we find out we've been drinking that for so long, it scares the hell out of you. I mean, that's the biggest fear out here is the unknown. We don't know what it's done.
Tucked among the woods and fields of northern Wisconsin, the town of Stella is home to about 700 residents. This small community has drawn regional attention for an unfortunate reason. Stella has some of the highest levels of groundwater PFAS contamination in the country.
It's a close-knit community where everybody pretty much knows everybody. When you have a community of about 700 people, that's kind of the way it goes. When someone has a problem, we all help each other. Agriculture is our main source of production out here. Leela Starks and the family, when they came here years ago, started farming potatoes here, and it's been potatoes ever since. Just a typical country community. I think they started spreading back in the late 60s with the paper mill sludge and things like that out here. The paper mill, they wash off the paper to make it white, and they use chemicals to do that. And all the paper particles and fibers and things that come off go down into that bin. And that bin is what we call sludge. In microwave popcorn bags, they use PFAS to seal the bags because PFAS is waterproof. Those were the things that were being brought out here and spread on these fields. It was good nutrients at that time, and that's all they were concerned about. It was nutrients and fertilizer for the fields to help the potatoes grow better. With PFAS being a forever chemical, it doesn't break down. And so when you spread it on the ground, typically the fertilizer and stuff only goes so far and it breaks down. PFAS doesn't. PFAS goes as far down as it can go. And that's where it gets into the drinking water and the aquifers. For PFAS contamination in private drinking wells, 2023, I believe, is when it really became an issue out here that the numbers were high, very high. We've had levels as high as 25,000 parts per trillion, which they are the highest levels in the country right now for PFAS contamination in private wells.
Our well is at 24,000 parts per trillion. It's over 6,000 times the limit of what it should be.
People take a lot of things for granted as far as their water and their natural resources. And this is a big wake-up call.
Finally, the DNR, with their investigations and things that they did, it took them a while, they issued responsibility letters to the paper mills saying that they had found evidence enough that they were responsible for contributing to the PFAS issues out here. The DNR started finding more residents that had PFAS in their wells at high numbers, and they may have been drinking out of those wells for years and years. That's the water source that our community thrives on. We all have private wells out here. There are no community water systems out here. You know, people are really concerned about health because they know someone who died from cancer that's next door, someone who died from cancer that lives over here, someone that died of cancer lives down the road, and now they're being told their well has PFAS, their well has PFAS, their well has PFAS, and my well has PFAS. Do I need to be concerned about that? And that's a big unknown out here for folks, and that's what really scares the residents out here. You wonder, what's it done to me? What's it done to my father or mother if they lived out here? What's it done to my kids who have consumed that water? I mean, I raised my kids out here. Everybody's raised their kids out here. Is it going to be reproductive issues? Is it going to be kidney? Is it going to be liver? Is it going to be some kind of a health issue that's going to crop up that if we weren't drinking that water, it wouldn't have occurred? Our drinking water started it, but now it's in the food supply. The Moens chain is a chain of lakes that's known for musky fishing and panfish. The lakes were primarily important just because of us wanting to hunt and fish and feed our family. And now they're saying over Moens, don't consume fish at all. And even with the venison, you know, limiting the amount of quantity of venison that you eat and not eating liver and those types of things. That became another issue then because that started getting into the issue of our hunting privileges and the venison that we use to feed our family, the fish that we use to feed our family. I think it's important to hold the polluters accountable so that they don't go and do it somewhere else. Or if they have other factories that they're doing similar things at, that they're called out on it and that they're made to make changes to those processes. What does that mean for the Township of Stella? Does it mean that they'll contribute funding out here for cleanup if the cleanup ever happens? Unsure. Again, it's questions that need to be answered. And we're not sure who has the answers.
There's money sitting there available, only it's a partisan thing that is holding it up.
I wish the state legislature would get their act together it would go a long ways to helping people up here with the problems that we're dealing with.
There's a lot of things in the water that could harm you. There's lead, there's nitrates, there's PFAS, obviously. The notification of the county health department, I think, is important because that's kind of the go-to for everything related to public health for the county. And if they're not aware of something that's going on in the community or the county, then how are they going to be able to properly provide public health services to the community to help individuals address the drinking water issues? Clean water is one of the primary things that we as humans have to have.